What's the difference between user stories and requirements, I guess, from like the traditional world we used to have?
I think this is very important to understand because a lot of like business analysts, transitioning into a role of a product owner and then later on a product manager, and they're very much used to writing like huge requirements like BRDs and FRDs and all of those things which used to happen back in the day. The
Yeah.
major difference is the objective with which you write the user story, right? The key difference is within a requirement, you'll focus on what are the functionally, what is the system, how it is behaving, and what it is supposed to do. Whereas within user stories, we need to focus on the user perspective. The entire user story is written from a user perspective, taking into account the persona of the user. So initially, when the designers start creating the user stories, they think about the user, what the user is, how the user is using the system, what is the user, different personas, how the user would behave, how the user would interact with the system. So it is very much focused from a user perspective rather than functionality of how the system would behave. Within our organization, we already have a persona, back office Betty. So Betty is the back office person who is like doing the payments, making sure that the bills are in place. So from a system perspective, right, rather than thinking what the system is supposed to do, we think from a perspective of Betty. How does Betty uses the system instead of as a user? As Betty, I go to the back end of the system and I pay my bills.